The microphone.
The microphone.
Does it have a microphone on it? Well, yeah? Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry guys. Headphone difficulties again here. All right, let's kick it off. All right. Yesterday's session in U.S. stocks were a bit of a drift to the right once we got going in the morning session. We obviously opened up nicely and just pushed out to the right the whole day. And we had a nice session out of Europe yesterday. Obviously, we had a big day here locally, and that looks to probably somewhat continue to an extent today. We had a lot of earnings out yesterday, a lot of stocks trading, moving around a lot on the back of earnings. That was Comcast, Verizon, Chipotle, all trading really well. We did have Coca-Cola and McDonald's that were a little bit soft. You can kind of see how the health kick is starting to funnel through in the States a little bit for the first time. So the brands like Coca-Cola and McDonald's that are kind of seen as unhealthy are starting to feel a little bit of pressure. So I don't think you're going to look into that a whole lot in terms of from a earnings or from a cyclical point of view. All right, if we look at CPI yesterday, CPI was actually a big number yesterday, and I think it's big because some of the CPI measures that Janet Yellen's been looking at have been hot as of late. She looked at CPI in previous months, and she basically declared it noise because she's saying that it's short term. Looks like she may have been right with CPI coming in a little bit softer than expectations yesterday, so that's a real win for the bulls, and we obviously saw the market reflect that. Then we saw Bill Ackman give the most disappointing presentation of his entire life yesterday after he set the stage for something proper and then came with pretty much nothing with Herbalife yesterday, and Herbalife ran 25% into the close. So that's it's a pretty incredible move, and it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. All right. Just the chart here. One of the more important things I think that we kind of need to be watching and stay focused on here is this Rand dollar chart, and you can see there we're trading right down to around the 200-day moving average. And if you look here, going all the way back into for the last year, I mean, we only very, very briefly ever punched through the 200-day moving average, for the on the Rand side. So I think this is important, and I would expect this trend to continue, and for the Rand probably to weaken a little bit off of these levels. If not right here, maybe we strengthen slightly more and then start to weaken a little bit from there. All right. We had BHP Billiton that was out overnight with a production update, and rallied quite nicely off the back of that in Australia. You can see there they pretty much beat on every number. They beat on petroleum output. They beat on the fourth quarter and the full year number there. They beat on copper output on the fourth quarter and on the full year number, and they beat on coking coal on fourth quarter and on full year. So really kind of firing on all cylinders there for Billiton's. There's nothing here on iron ore, but I did see something on iron ore. Iron ore, I think, was also a slight beat, up 19%, from the prior year. So I think, like I said, Billiton's really firing on all cylinders, as well as most of the other miners. I mean, they've been ramping production quite nicely. Remember, these are production numbers. These aren't earnings numbers, but obviously, so long as the earnings are holding up, the commodity prices are holding up, this is going to filter through directly to earnings. All right. We've got a lot of stocks again coming out with earnings this afternoon in the States. We get Boeing, Biogen, Pepsi, Qualcomm, Gilead, and AT&T. So another spate of earnings. We've been definitely been mostly on the beat side there out of the States, and I think that might be enough to continue to keep us at these elevated levels. All right, today in market data, we've got French manufacturing confidence. We've got local CPI numbers year on year. That's at 10 o'clock. We're expecting 6.7%. That's a big number. If we come in hotter than that, I would fully expect some of the interest rate sensitive stocks to come under pressure, because right now a lot of people are on the fence as to what they think the central bank here is going to do, and if that comes in hot, I think they're going to absolutely be forced to have to raise at the next meeting. All right, and when we look at, we've got MBA mortgage applications as well as consumer confidence in Europe later. Okay, all right, let's have a look at the maps. All right, first thing we're going to have a look at here is Anglos on the 2-year chart. And the reason I wanted to show this is because of the fact that we're punching right up against this 288 level, which is very, very significant. You can see here we failed it 3 times. In fact, we've gotten through that level intraday every time. Today probably no different. On the back of the Billiton production update, we might see Anglos open up slightly higher on the back of that. You'll definitely see Billitons open up a little bit higher on the back of it. So this thing might open up a little bit through, but it's got to hold 288. I mean, every time this has been it's been a big failure here. And once again, we've rallied pretty hard into this level over the past, call it, month. And I think we're going to have to see a punch through here for us to continue this rally. Obviously, we'll have to see a punch through, but if we do see a move through this level, there's very, very significant upside here. I mean, there would be a huge target on Anglos here, so just keep that in mind if we get above 288 on a closing basis. All right, we're going to look at Life Healthcare. Actually, I pointed this out by one of our viewers yesterday, sent me an email, was talking about this, and he was talking about Head and Shoulder. I don't see anything really significant, definitive looking Head and Shoulder here, but we're looking at this as a 2-year. Bottom line is this is definitely a breakout here from what I would consider a significant level at around 44, and I would say the near-term target is going to be $48. Just on the near-term target, long-term target could be as much as 52. So this is definitely a nice looking pattern setup here. Probably one of the nicer setups that we've had of recent in some of these stocks. And actually having a look, I'm not going to show all of them, but on the in the medical and pharma space, there are a lot of charts that are starting to that are really shaping up to be quite bullish at the moment. All right. Let's look at ShopRite. ShopRite, I just wanted to show ShopRite again. I know we've had a look at this chart a few times over the past few sessions, but everybody's talking about where's the target on this bad boy. I think there's definitely a level at 165 here. And which we finally got through really on a closing basis yesterday. Previously before we closed at 65, the next day we opened up a little bit higher and then we failed it quite hard, traded back below 160. Now we've closed above 165, probably setting us up to make a move up closer to 170 handle somewhere in there, and possibly even higher than that. So I would look for probably a target of a near-term target of maybe 170, just on this little retracement back into support at 160. And then the continuation back up maybe to 170. All right, Cecil, we showed this one yesterday. Hope you guys caught it. I didn't. Quite bleak about that. It just kind of ran so quickly there in the morning and didn't get on the train. But beautiful breakout here from a really, really clear-cut flag pattern. I would, like we said yesterday, would have loved to see this thing come all the way back into 600. But once the breakout happened yesterday, I mean, it was all she wrote. It really just, it really never looked back during the session. And I think this thing's really got a significantly higher target. I think we'll probably take out the recent highs and all-time highs and maybe even trade up to 660 on Cecil. All right, let's look at ITU. ITU here making a little bit of an ascending triangle here, and I would say really probably broke out yesterday. If not broke out, I mean, it's right at resistance. If you want to draw this from wicks on a closing basis, maybe it didn't break out. But I mean, if you look at this here, I think you can say that we broke out above 58. I'd like to see it push a little bit higher, but as you can see here, really nice really nice setup. All the pullbacks off of this level just kind of started to get smaller and smaller and smaller, breaking out here in 58. Nice upside target there in ITU. And then the last one I'm going to show is Telkom. Telkom, you can see here, we were tweeting out this yesterday. Well done to Mike being on top of this one, showing if this thing popped above, I believe 48.50. Yeah, 48.50 yesterday. That it was going to probably make a quick move up to about $50, which it did, to be exact almost. We're trading up right at all-time highs. I think if we get through $50, we can definitely see a continuation here and probably a move all the way up to about as high as 53. And that's it for today, guys. Trade well. Be careful out there in this light volume.